Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Barony. Let's jump straight into a new game here, and we're going to be male. And as before, I think we'll attempt a wizard here. I am optimistic about the chances of the wizard actually getting somewhere in this, but of course I could be entirely mistaken. It didn't go all that well last time, as you'll probably remember. But the wizard does seem like it would be a powerful class once you get a handle on how to use it. So, let's see if we can actually kind of make some headway in deploying the wizard appropriately. First things first though, let's learn our Force Bolt here. I'm not going to bother learning Light from our Spellbook of Light because I think basically that's too expensive to use. I'm planning to rely more on torches. I think that's a better option. So let's straight away whip a torch out, because we're probably going to need one. Ooh, should equip the spell as well. There we go. Don't want to be in need of a spell and not have it handy to cast. I can hear rats, and a door opened. Skeleton. Blast the skeleton. Yeah. Thanks to whoever it was who gave me the tip to use a Force Bolt followed by a whack with the staff to get myself killed. Okay. Well, let's just try that again. That was unlucky for us to get pegged by a pair of skeletons straight away on the first floor. That was unfortunate. And I felt like we were moving really slowly as well. I'd expect the wizard to be fairly light on his feet, in all honesty. But that seems like it's maybe not the case. Okay, so let's descend. And as I think I remarked in one of the more recent Barony videos, I think I need to turn up my mouse sensitivity. I forgot to do it. So sort of turning around on the spot as we had to with that last skeleton does leave me a little bit vulnerable, thanks to my low mouse sensitivity. Anyway, having a bit of room to deal with those two skeletons definitely helped. It was unlucky a second time. I suppose it was extra unlucky to get a pair of skeletons twice in a row as soon as we come out of the door on the first floor. But we're alive, and that's what matters. So, let's try not to be blindsided by anything the way we were with our wizard a moment ago. But of course, that's always a risk. The thing I'm most worried about, sort of surprise danger-wise, is Boulder Traps, because they're so difficult to spot. And that's basically the main reason that I'm walking around with my torch out, making a great target of myself. It's essentially because I don't want to be caught off guard by a Boulder Trap. What's this book? How to be Strong by Manly Man. Oh, I see what you did there. Let's get rid of that. But no, I didn't want to add a second thing to my hotbar. No, go away. That's the thing. Alright then. It would be nice to pick up some more spells. I mean, Force Bolt is good, and I'm glad we have it. Not so bothered about Light, but it would be nice to discover what other kind of useful spell effects we can acquire beyond just blasting stuff in the face. How to be Strong again? Someone is very keen on that book. Clearly, someone who lives in this dungeon is insecure about their masculinity. So, according to the mini-map, we have actually seen the exit. Oh, it was quite close to the entrance, wasn't it, I think? Yeah. I only sort of half... Oh, crap! I only sort of half acknowledged it. That was awkward. I literally couldn't see the rat. I didn't know it was there. So is a tip then going to be to walk around looking at the ground? Because that seems like it would be an irritating thing to do. I suppose maybe I should have paid more attention to the sound effects, but as I've remarked before, it's kind of a necessity. At least it's a necessity for me when recording to have the volume turned way down. Otherwise I can't really hear what I'm saying over the sounds of the game through my earphones. So, torch out. And okay, there's the exit. I can hear a rat. Hopefully it's not going to be invisible right underneath our feet. Okay. Let's take that thing out. Did we hit it? We did hit it. Down you go. I've been told by one of you lovely viewers that, in fact, the wizard doesn't have any kind of armour restrictions. You might imagine that, as with a lot of games, wizards can't wear heavy armour and that kind of stuff. But apparently, according to at least one or two of you, there's no such restriction on the wizards in this. So it might be worth me immediately grabbing the armour and stuff from these deceased skeletons. Looks like just helmets at the moment, but a helmet will do. Decrepit iron helm, what about this one? Another decrepit iron helm. Not so bothered about having two of them. So I'll throw one away. That looks like maybe leather. Yeah. And it's in no better condition than the iron one is. So I'll just ignore that stuff. But yeah. Allegedly, there's no reason for a wizard not to wear heavy armour in Barony. Except that I guess maybe it might slow down your movement a bit more. But from what I'm told, it doesn't take all that long before your level gains push your speed back up anyway. I'm not going to bother with the shield simply because I tend not to use it that much anyway because I like to have a torch. And it doesn't really seem like it would be a logical choice for our playstyle here. Okay, again we did see the entrance, or the exit I should say, quite early on, so it might be worth heading back there now that we've explored a lot of the floor. I'll head up into this northeast corner here and just clear out some of the remaining empty spaces, but more or less circle back towards the downward stairs. I can hear rats squeaking everywhere I go, which is a little bit unsettling. Oh, pool of blood. Not what you like to see when you're walking through a door. Okay. So I guess let's head across here. Oh, shit. Nope. That could have been very nasty. Because we're still kind of lowish on health. Yeah, we're still in the process of recovering from our encounter with those skeletons earlier. Let's clear out a little bit of this space here. Just fill in this corner of the map. And we find a treasure chest. See, it can be worth looking around. Tin opener doesn't interest me that much, nor does a blindfold, but I will take them for now. I think we've discovered in a previous episode that tin openers are... Oh. I wonder if there's some kind of levitation spell or something for crossing these kinds of gaps. I've seen them a few times, but I have no way of getting across them. I was going to say, I think we've discovered in a previous episode that you can sometimes find tinned food, and that's probably what the tin opener is for. The Minotaur is hungry. In that case, we really, really need to find the exit rapidly. You might remember in a relatively recent episode, we, by which I mean I, didn't notice that we were on a Minotaur level, and I hung around far too long and ended up getting killed by the aforementioned Minotaur. So I think it's probably a good plan, now that we do know there's a Minotaur around, to just leg it. And the exit is on the mini-map. It's kind of over here-ish. Let's blast through this door. Through we go. Oh, treasure chest. Better just make sure there's nothing hanging around before we open it. Looks clear. At the risk of quoting Vin Diesel. And down we go. Safe from the Minotaur. And we get the sound of bustling streets, which hopefully should mean we'll get a shop or two. Whether we have enough money to do any worthwhile shopping is a different matter. And of course, whether we can sell any of the bits and pieces we're carrying. We're not carrying that much extra junk, but whether we can sell what we do have will depend on the kind of shop we come across. And a boulder trap. Okay. So I guess we'll restart. Truth be told, the fact that it's so easy to die to boulder traps without even realising they're there. I mean, I don't know how I could have spotted that one. It was immediately behind a door. So the commonness of that happening is actually starting to irritate me with this game. I would imagine, knowing my own proclivities, that I'm not going to be willing to put up with that forever. So that might actually be what calls an end to this series sooner than actually reaching the bottom of the dungeon. I mean, according to the developer, it's not that long a game, but those boulder traps are sufficiently irritating that I might find myself calling halt to this before we get near the bottom of the dungeon. Just because I don't want to deal with those things anymore. Like, I felt like our last run there was actually going reasonably well. I mean, it was early days, but it seemed fairly positive. And yet suddenly, a boulder trap which we had no way of spotting because it was behind a door just finished us off, suddenly, just like that. I mean, a second of warning or something would be useful. So, yeah, that might actually knock Let's Play Barony on the head. I mean, if you're a long-term viewer, then you'll probably be aware that with games that are either long enough or challenging enough for me to have difficulty getting to the end, what I tend to do is just kind of drift away from them over time as my stamina for playing the game runs out. And I just feel like with those boulder traps, my Barony stamina might run out sooner than average. But we'll see. What I'm going to do is try and pay more attention to the ceilings. Of course, if we look up like this, we can't see rats, which might be underfoot, but I'm going to try and make a conscious effort to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on with the ceiling, and see if we actually can mitigate the boulder trap danger a bit. Like that. I mean, it doesn't help with the ones which are hidden immediately behind doors that we open, like the one that killed us a few minutes ago. But it won't be so frustrating if those sort of hidden unavoidable ones are the only ones that we fall afoul of. If we can largely avoid most of the boulder traps by spotting them in advance, then I think that probably won't be so bad, and that might actually enable me to continue without becoming too frustrated by the game. I'm descending quite quickly, as you've probably noticed here, and that's basically because I'm in a hurry to avoid running into any more boulder traps. My feeling at the moment is the more I explore, the more risk there is of running into one of those traps. So I'm experimenting with diving pretty quickly. We've got some scrolls. Let's try out some of these scrolls and see what they are. Okay, that caused us forgetfulness, which isn't a big deal because we haven't explored this floor anyway. Wizard hat glows blue. I take blue to be a good thing. What's it say about our wizard hat? Serviceable, blessed. I guess it blessed it or something. Or maybe it gave us that +1. No, I think it blessed the hat. So that's alright. What about this other scroll? A map coalesces in your mind. So that was magic mapping, and we immediately know where the exit is. So there's that. And we've got a couple more scrolls here as well, so let's try those. And another forgetfulness. Okay, so it seems... I don't think I've read enough scrolls in Barony to have discovered this before, but it seems that the scrolls actually don't identify themselves. Unless part of the forgetfulness effect there is that you also forget the scroll you've just identified. Because right now, it seems as though we've read several scrolls, but they all just have those sort of cryptic fantasy-ish names, which would suggest that either the scroll itself caused us to forget that scroll and previous scrolls, or the game just doesn't identify them when you read them, and you have to try and remember which code words apply to which effects. If that's the way Barony does it, then that's going to be annoying. But we'll see, I suppose, as we go along. I'll try out another scroll when we get one. I think at the moment the only other scroll we have is another scroll of forgetfulness. But if I try out one of these scrolls here, then see, as we go along, whether that type of scroll remains identified, then hopefully that will shed some light on the way that mechanic works in this game. So, food. I can hear a creature running. Where are you? We've got fight music. Where are... Oh, crap! Nope. That was lucky. That was unacceptably close. Okay, so we've got another torch. That's fine. We've got to leave it... Whoa! Enemy music. Where is it? Oh, maybe it wasn't enemy music. Again, I have the sound turned down, so I can't necessarily tell. Oh, no, it was enemy music. Go, go. No. Ugh. Okay, apparently everything knows we're here. Let's have a quick read of... Yeah, that's the Forgetfulness Scroll. So let's read one of the... Okay, that one's already identified. That's a little weird. Especially since that isn't one we've read. Interesting. Blank scroll. And weapon glows blue. Inventory's almost full, so I guess it might be worth throwing some of our stuff away. Flawed gem, cracked gem, glasses, a rock, spellbook of cold. I do want to read that, I guess. You forget one of your spells? Are you serious? It actually caused us to forget Forcebolt. Wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. I'll throw this hat away. I mean, it might be an improvement over our current hat, but we don't know at this point. That at least frees up a few spaces. I'll throw away the Spellbook of Light, actually, as well. Let's try this spellbook. You learn the magic mapping spell and our magic ability has improved. Okay. And I think I'll throw the book away because I don't have any imminent plans to use it. And let's experiment with this appraisal thing, which a few of you have talked about. Let's appraise this ring as we walk around. And we'll just see what appraising things yields. From what I remember from trying it in the past, it doesn't really give us that much information, but several of you have boulderholed. Several of you have boulderholed. Several of you have recommended using appraise while just sort of wandering around. Fountain. Oh, torch burns out. Okay, let's get out another torch. Oh, apparently the one that's on the hotbar is the useless one. So let's try a different torch. That one. There we go. Alright. So, there's the exit. There's also this fountain. Fountain, of course, could poison us, but we're at full health, so let's give it a try. Just refresh this, that's alright. We are hungry, so let's eat some meat. And then we'll just dive down to the next level. I mean, I've been descending pretty quickly here, and just got an achievement, apparently. I don't know if that's a new depth or something. This one's still alive, apparently. Grabbing some extra torches just so we don't run out. Oh no, we have been down here before. Once, I think. So let's be very careful not to run into a boulder hole. Really don't want any part of that when we've reached a depth which we don't usually reach. I'm tempted to cast... I don't like that skull and crossbones there. That worries me. Lots of scrolls, so I'll take those. And I'm tempted to cast magic mapping. I mean, since we have it, that means it's reusable. It's a spell we've learnt. So we should be able to map every floor, really. I wonder how many of our MP it will use up. Let's give it a try and find out. Okay, it uses most of our MP. I did wonder about that. It seems like magic mapping, if it had quite a low cost, would be an extremely powerful spell. There's the exit straight away, so we'll immediately descend. And I think this is the point we got to in our previous record, where we started getting killed. So, I want to allow a little bit of time for our MP to regenerate, so let's take this opportunity to read some of the scrolls we picked up out of that chest. Let's read Yum Yum. As you read the scroll, it disappears. That teleported us, so we're no longer in a safe place. Fantastic. Let's have a quick read of something else. That's the one that makes us forget. That one's blank. I'll throw that away. That one. Okay, that set us on fire, so that's not great. And one more. The weapon glows blue. So that's improved our staff to some extent. I think it's probably blessed it. But, of course, I'm not entirely sure what effect that has. Blessing in roguelikes usually kind of improves the effect of an item, so it'll make a potion more effective and that kind of thing. Not sure what it will do on a weapon. Exploded the goblin. Feel good about that. I mean, it could have been a lot worse for sure. How good is this helmet? Worn iron helm. It's probably better than our decrepit one, so let's hide around the corner here. We're still appraising the ring. And I'll try putting on the worn iron helm. Oh, it was our previous wizard who had a different iron helm on. Wow. All these wizards just blur together after a while, especially when they're all called Bob. So let's grab some money. I did see some movement around here a minute ago, so I'm a little bit concerned. But of course, need to make sure also that we keep an eye on the ceiling, so we don't immediately get squashed by an unexpected boulder. Ooh. Spider is busting through doors. That's interesting. What loutish behaviour, Arachnid. There's a reason I don't like your spidery type. Okay, let's jump into this shop. Basically, because this is the first shop we've seen, and I kind of want to see what's available to us. So, we can definitely sell off some of our stuff. I'm inclined to sell off our... Did something break in? No. I'm inclined to sell off our wizard hat. Sell. Oh, he doesn't buy it. I thought he might be a miscellaneous guy. Well, he sells... He seems to sell just any old thing, really. Okay, how much money do we have? 92. It's probably not enough to buy much. We can buy a torch, but there's so many of those around free anyway. What will he buy? Will he buy some of this crap? Like an amulet or something? We finished appraising the ring. Flawless ring. See, appraising it didn't really tell us anything about it very much. Nothing we didn't already know. Will he buy that? No, he won't. In that case, let's just move on. He doesn't seem to be selling anything we particularly need or buying anything that we want to get rid of. Huh, plenty of warning on that Boulder Trap. Because we happened to be facing that way. Had we been facing in a different direction, we wouldn't have seen it, and we might have been flattened. Oh, a blob. Suddenly we're in Dragon Quest, apparently. Okay, some shoes. And I guess some armour. Leather breastplate. It might be worth putting that on. In place of whatever sort of magey robes we've been wearing so far. Let's wear that. Drop our mage hat. And whatever else we were wearing. Cloak of protection. No, apparently we weren't wearing any magey robes. So, we're moving noticeably more slowly now. But our nimbleness hasn't exactly been one of our great assets so far. It's mainly been our ability to blast stuff in the face with bolts of purple energy. So hopefully, the fact that we're moving a bit more slowly won't be too debilitating. You know what, let's dive. Diving has got us this far. So yeah, hopefully... Oh, a Minotaur level. Speed might actually be useful here. So you know what, I am going to unequip that armour to bump our speed back up a little bit. Not that much, distressingly. Die. Yeah. Oh, we appear to be poisoned. That could be an issue. Poison's worn off. Not too much of an issue. Yeah, so it seems it's the stuff we're carrying, not our armour. So, let's throw aside this book. The boots. I don't know what the magic staffs are. I guess we could try wielding it. It might be cursed, but let's give it a go. And just see what effect that has. Yeah, that seems fine. I'm going to chuck the other one away. And the amulet. Basically, in the interests of trying to be as light on our feet as possible. Might be worth trying out some of these potions as well. Arcane energy flowed into us. We feel better. You can no longer see yourself. And we also can't see anything else. Let's eat some meat while we're waiting. And then basically we'll just have to wait out the blindness here. So we'll unequip that torch. And then basically just wait. Okay, didn't last too long. And we might as well appraise something else while we're walking around, just in case it does actually have some kind of use. It doesn't seem to, but allegedly people are kind of fans of it. Okay, apparently our staff is still invisible. There we go, that's better. Okay, so we are moving a little bit faster. And I think equipping the armour was a good idea, because it doesn't really seem to impact our movement speed all that much. And we could probably do with the protection. And since it apparently doesn't actually impede your ability to do things in this game, it doesn't impede your casting ability or anything of that nature, it really seems as though we might as well use armour. Okay, so we exhausted our magic staff. Back to our quarterstaff, I guess. I haven't really dabbled in magic staffs that much so far, so it's useful to learn that in fact they have interesting effects with limited charges. That is something worthwhile to know. Show me the way, Bob. Yes, Brigadier. And there's another guy there. Wow, apparently we just have this kind of legion of... Oh, shitting hell. I forgot it's a Minotaur level. Okay, apparently our friendly human allies there didn't quite manage to keep the Minotaur off our back. Well, that was my own fault, because I completely forgot that it was a Minotaur level. But nonetheless, I feel like that was a reasonably positive run, and I learnt some things, which is always an important thing in roguelikes. Learning from one attempt to the next is one of the crucial features in actually getting better at one of these games. And if I can cultivate that habit of looking at the ceiling as much as possible to watch out for unexpected boulders, maybe we can actually make a go of this. So anyway, thanks for watching, and rejoin me next time as we continue with our efforts to get to the bottom of this mysterious mine where the Baron lurks waiting for us, and occasionally cackling as he sends his pets after us. So anyway, until the next time, thanks for watching, and bye for now.